Let's be honest here, folks. Magicians aren't real people. As much as you try to emulate the actions of those that you consider to be normal, you're never going to do it. The moment you decided to take up that deck of playing cards or, God forbid, picked up that coin, you, my friend, made a decision that you can never take back. So today, what I thought I would do is that I would tell you things that magicians do not know about normal people. The first and foremost one on this list is an obvious one in that normal people shower. Now, I don't know if you've been to magic conventions. I've been to a couple, and you notice that in the air there's a particular scent. Not only a scent, but I would say a change in temperature. I noticed the exact same type of humidity in the air when I went to an arcade bar and realized that I was surrounded by weebs and fans of Naruto Shippuden. And I would say there's a crossover between those communities because both of them share the common trait of not showering. I shower often, as a matter of fact, most days that's 2 times a day, once before I sleep and once after any sort of activity, whether that's working out or anything that involves me sweating. As a matter of fact, after this show I might shower just because of the heat of the lights causing a little bit of that glistening to take place on my head, and I'm not a fan of that. So normal people shower. It's a normal thing they do. And for some reason, magicians don't understand this. Magicians are the type of people to say, no, you don't have to do that every day. It's bad for your skin. You know what's even worse for your skin? Not showering. The next one on this list is a little bit odd in that they don't carry work shit. Normal people don't have usually the things they use for their work. A fireman doesn't carry his hose on him. A nurse doesn't carry an IV drip. Your mom doesn't carry condoms around. They keep that at work. But for some reason, magicians always have to be on. Magicians always have to have a thumb tip here and some sort of gimmick there and a thread system attached on their person at all times. You don't need that. Leave that at home. If the topic does come up of what is it that you do for a living and you happen to say, I do magic tricks for a living, then maybe you might want to use the stuff around you. It's about being a flexible and pliable performer. You don't have to have stuff on you. Come on. Another thing that normal people do that magicians don't is that they are capable of normal conversation. If you have a conversation with a magician, just know that the topic will always turn to magic. That's not by accident, my friends. That's on purpose. The magician is always trying to weave how it is that they can incorporate to the conversation that they do magic tricks. They're like vegans, but gayer. The only people that magicians can have a normal conversation with are other magicians. It's unfortunate, but it's a matter of fact. With other magicians, they don't have to worry. They don't have to have the anxiety. They don't have to have the clammy hands and wonder how they could steer the conversation in magic. It's already organic to the situation because both participants will happen to share the same virginity. You don't always have to talk about magic. You don't always have to bring up what it is that you do. I don't understand why people ask that question to begin with. It seems like a cop-out and, I'm going to say this because it's going to lead to some interesting conversation. It always leads to a minute awkward conversation where the person talks to you about what they do for a living, and it's never interesting. So avoid it. Don't have that conversation and don't try to rope this around to you and doing magic tricks. Funnily enough, I mentioned wallets in that little diatribe, and wallets is another thing that normal people possess that magicians don't seem to understand as to how normal people could have a wallet that doesn't have some sort of magic function. If you ever look at the magic wallets that are in the market, they always have gold tips or they have some sort of feature or characteristic that immediately makes it known to everybody within a 100-mile vicinity that you bought it in a magic store. You're not fooling anyone. Also, magicians are the only types of people that carry those massive wallets that you have to carry in a jacket pocket like it's 1907. What do you own property in rural Mississippi? You gotta have the deed on you at all times? Just get a normal billfold wallet. Magicians don't seem to realize that people have normal wallets. They carry normal, ordinary wallets on them. Whether it's a little card, a slim wallet, or a billfold, they don't have to have another function. You could have a wallet that just serves the function of carrying your cards and cash. I think the last point here is actually the most important, my friends, is that regular people don't care about magicians. For some reason, when magicians bring up the fact that they do magic tricks for a living, they expect a crazy reaction from lay people. They want to imagine that lay people will pretend that you just dropped a Hope Diamond in front of them. But that's not the case. They just think, okay, that's cool, that's interesting. They don't care about you. So you'll see a magician introduce himself in a conversation and be like, watch this. Hey, what do you do for a living? Oh, you're a banker? That's great. I'm a magician. What? No one cares. Honestly, I'd rather have a conversation with an electrician. I'd rather have a conversation with somebody that's into car repair, something that's going to nourish my knowledge and maybe have me pick up a life skill that actually means something. Ordinary, normal people don't care about magicians. So don't worry about it. Don't think that that's going to be your ace in the sleeve. And I mean that in both ways. You think that when a conversation has taken a downward spiral into building two, that you could just bust out your trump card trigger warning and say, hey, everything's all right. I'm a magician. No one cares. Move on. That's the list. Those are just some things that I think magicians don't seem to understand about normal people. Make sure to leave what you think magicians don't understand in the comment section below, and maybe we could have a conversation. Maybe you could send me an email. My link is in the description below, and we could have a little bit of a mail time segment on this particular show. I think that would be interesting. And yes, I get it. I know I'm a magician. It's part of the thing, okay? You know, that's the other one. That's a bonus one. Magicians don't understand nuance. It's like a trait that certain people have that may or may not fall in the spectrum, that you don't understand that it's not just black or white. There's a little bit of gray in there, and that's where I live. That's where I thrive. But to them, they think that an end-all argument with me is, hey, but you're a magician. No, it's not as simple as that, my friends. But apart from that, that's the video. Why don't you just go brush your teeth or something?